And a look at the entire field. Willis, the 2003 Big Ten champion, and he won the Mid-East Regional. Mulvaney, the 2003 indoor champion in the mile. Felt like he should have won the 1500 outdoors a year ago. Called it a tactical mistake, and he's a guy who has a lot of confidence in his finishing kick. Men's 1500 is underway.
The question is, did he learn from his technical error? We'll see what type of race he runs this time, positioning himself correctly or not. Right now, there's quite a few athletes in this race, so it's very bunched, 12 in all.
And you can expect that Arkansas, with 3 representatives in this final, will find a way to run a team tactics race if they can get themselves in position, depending on how the pace goes out. If it continues to be slow like this, it will be a bunched field, and watch for some jostling and maybe somebody to go down. And if one of them is the Razorbacks, that'll make a big difference in their team title hopes.
Tightly packed. Grant Robeson of Stanford has the lead. O'Brien and Willis currently shoulder to shoulder for second.
Watching Willis there, he's glancing over his shoulder, trying to make sure that he has some running space. Sometimes someone picking you up on the back can hit your back kick and throw you off balance. He's trying to make sure he's got some room there.
Jorge Torres making the early move on the outside. Torres out of the University of Colorado.
I'm a little surprised they were so bunched. They did go through in 60 seconds, which is a good, honest pace for a championship final. But Jorge Torres now appearing to push the pace a little bit, and the crowd starting to string out. But we have seen some jostling and some moving and some elbowing here, which tends to take quite a bit out of these runners early in the race. They don't think so, but when they go for that third 400, when they have to move it, they're starting to feel the effects of some of that jostling and having to move laterally to stay out of trouble.
Torres is the 2002 NCAA cross-country champion.
And he's a 5,000 meter specialist. He's chosen to run the 1,500 meters here because he believes that he can make that world championship team for Paris later this summer at the national championships. So he is going to have to push the pace, and someone has gone down.
It looks like Nick Willis from here. We'll have to make certain of it, but that's exactly what I was talking about. Those guys were too tightly bunched, and that is problematic. Could be a freshman mistake, may have not been in the position he should have been in. It's definitely Nick Willis of Michigan, so he's out of it.
Meanwhile, Torres continues to lead. Robeson is second.
And for you Michigan fans, Nick Willis is back up and running, but a good 15-20 meters behind and out of the race, as Dwight mentioned.
One of the favorites, and that has to be devastating for Willis. High hopes coming in as the Big Ten champion after winning the Mid-East Regional. Joel Atwater of Weber State has made a move and taken over first place. But very tight, and here's the bell lap.
These guys are awfully tightly bunched at this point in the race, as we see Grant Robeson now going up on the shoulder of Atwater. This is going to be a very interesting last 300 meters. A lot of athletes are in this race. One of them is not Chris Mulvaney, however, and Arkansas does not look to be well represented here.
And here comes Robeson taking over first place. Atwater second. Sean O'Brien is third, trying to separate from the rest of the field.
There are only 2 Arkansas athletes in that lead pack. Right now, they are not doing what they're supposed to do.
And Grant Robeson of Stanford trying to follow the footsteps of his teammate Don Sage, who won this race last year. Sage is redshirting, but Robeson is clear of the field.
Breaking from the turn, here comes Chris Mulvaney.
Chris Mulvaney, second. A late move. Look at this. Trying to close. Does he have time? No.
He talked about tactical errors he made last year. Perhaps this one was an even bigger tactical error, because when you can run down the home stretch with that much speed, what were you doing way back there?
Grant Robeson able to hold off the late charge.
With 300 meters to go, Chris Mulvaney was nowhere to be found. The only Arkansas runner in any kind of contention was sophomore Saeed Ahmed, who ended up 5th here, so they get 2nd and 5th, but Robeson clear of the pack, and now you see Mulvaney in 4th. He's got an awful lot of sprint in him, as you said, Carol, to have been so far back with 300 meters to go. There is Mulvaney, and he is got a full head of steam, but why does he have that much of a head of steam? Robeson has no idea it's even coming. He thinks, okay, I've got this thing done. Then he's got to be hearing footsteps about here, and he just puts on a little late spurt, and Mulvaney just misses and gets second.
But again, I cannot believe what Mulvaney is doing. Look at him. He looks like he's running it in 800 meters. He's got a full head of steam, as you mentioned, Dwight. What is he doing? Unbelievable.
Well, we've seen other people do this. Dave Waddle comes to mind. Mark Everett comes to mind in the past. Sometimes it works. Usually it doesn't.
Robeson thought he had it well in hand until the late close, but the Pac-10 champion able to hang on. And let's check in now with Leslie Maxey.
Grant, such a tight race all the way through. Does it make it hard to break away for the win?
Well, all I was thinking about is this race and how I had planned to race and following through with the coach, the plan that my coach and I had set out. And I was out in front and I was able not to worry about the pack too much. I heard somebody go down behind me and I was just lucky to not be in that mess.
Congratulations. Chris, I know you were looking for the win, but you certainly picked up those important team points for Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to get the points. That's the one good thing about not winning. I still got some points for my team. Grant was just a bit stronger on the day. I mean, I gave it my all. So,
thank you so much.
Well, a look at the final results, and for the second consecutive year, Mulvaney is runner-up to a runner from Stanford. This time it's Robeson. A year ago it was Don Sage. Still Arkansas with a pretty good showing, 12 points for the Razorbacks, and Nebraska picks up 3 points. And another look at that finish. It was awfully close, but Grant Robeson able to hang on and win the NCAA championship.